How's it going, YouTube? Got FourthStarTCG here, and today I have another PSA return video for you. I believe I sent this submission off in April, maybe. Not exactly sure. It did take a couple of months to get back to me. PSA is a little slower now, not the 1 month bulk turnaround that we saw for a little bit, but still miles faster than what we were seeing during the pandemic era. So it is great to get these cards back relatively quickly. PSA seems to have found a good sweet spot at about $15 bulk. So without any further ado, let's crack into it. These cards are not in any order, unfortunately, from PSA. So we'll just crack into the first box here. This submission was a little interesting, and yeah, in this first box here, we'll see the reason why this was interesting. Okay, just 9, 6. Yeah, there's no order to these cards. Was just double checking there. So let's crack into it. I am very excited to show off these cards. This was a very nice return for me. So first we have some newer cards. I submitted some alternate arts from the most recent Scarlet and Violet sets. The special art rares, I guess they're officially called now. These are so nice. I love the texture on these. Beautiful Koraidon EX artwork there. These have come down a little bit from their original high price points, but it is really nice to get these cards in PSA 10. Again, their new cards are not really worth a ton of money or anything, especially these more common ones like the Great Tusk, but look at that texture. Such an amazing card. I really like how they focused more on these special art rares in the Scarlet and Violet era. It is one of the best decisions that they've made, I think. Yeah, 151, an amazing set. Here's another one. This is from the Violet expansion. Iron Treads EX. Keiichiro Ito art there, the same person who did the Moonbryon. Similar kind of style there with that Starry Night background. Really, really nice. I love when artists have that kind of signature style. And as sort of we were hoping on these newer cards, 10s all around, which is definitely good. If your 2023 Pokemon card doesn't get a PSA 10, that kind of stinks. So here is what makes the submission a little interesting and is a little bit annoying. So this card, PSA actually damaged. They emailed me and let me know that this card was damaged during the encapsulating process, and asked me what I wanted to do with it, whether I wanted it graded, whether I wanted it returned ungraded, or whether I just wanted it authenticated. So they told me that this card had graded a PSA 8, but it was damaged in the sealing process, and it would be graded a PSA 4 if I wanted to proceed with the actual grading of the card. Now, I think a PSA 4 on this Mega Metagross EX is effectively worthless. You could not sell that card for any premium whatsoever, and I figured, you know what, I just kind of want this as a binder card, so I said don't encapsulate it. They did compensate me the grade for the 8 value, which I think was like $35 or something, so not all that much money. I was kind of surprised that, yeah, so we can see the giant bend in the card there. That card is definitely damaged, and that's a very obvious and severe issue that I would have picked up. So I appreciate PSA taking responsibility for their error here, and admitting that they screwed this card up. I'm kind of happy that it didn't happen on a more expensive card. So yeah, I mean, it does stink, but that's kind of just the risk you run when you submit these cards to PSA. Every now and then they do screw up. But at least they did own up to it. At least they did compensate me for it, the value of the card. I feel like there's always a little bit of gamesmanship here, because I remember this has happened twice to me now. And the first time, PSA compensated me the declared value for the card. And this time they didn't compensate me the declared value of the card. The declared value of this Metagross was much higher than $35. I believe that's probably because, like, if they kind of get you on it, right? Where, like, if you declared a higher value and then the card is actually worth when it's graded and it gets damaged, then they just pay you out the value of the card. But if the value of the card is higher than your declared value, they just pay out your declared value. I guess that's just how these businesses work, unfortunately. But we move on. Spite Ops EX, another really cool card. I love the kind of joining between this card and the Tarantula Art Rare. Don't have it with me now, but it is very nice. And again, another Gem Mint 10. So now we are going back into some older cards. I'm really happy about this. Dawn Dash Glaceon Holo PSA 10. Really nice card from the Diamond and Pearl era. I have a lot of these Diamond and Pearl Holo cards, sending off a few of them here and there now. Really do like them a lot, and the prices are starting to creep up to the point where it is justified. Of course, most attention right now is not focused on vintage Japanese, focused on modern Japanese, but there are a lot of really cool things going on in the Japanese market right now. Next up, Typhlosion from Soul Silver Collection, Mint 9. I think this card just had some very tiny issues on it. The back is very clean, but I think I spotted maybe a scratch or two somewhere, so a 9 is understandable on this card. I think I was hoping for a 10, but a 9 definitely still pretty nice. Prime cards are one of the vintage Japanese things that have been going up quite a bit in value recently. All right, crack out the next box here. Nice. And speaking of primes, here's a second prime, another PSA 9 Crobat, also from the Soul Silver collection. I think, again, this one is a little bit off center. You can see the bottom border larger than the top border. And I also think there was, yeah, you can just see at the top there, tiny, tiny bit of wear along that top edge. And maybe even in this bottom corner as well. So a 9, again, a very understandable grade on this card, but a grade that I am nonetheless happy with. Again, 9s on these cards from 2009, that is pretty good. We're over 10 years old on those cards. Goodness, we're closing in on 15 years old for those cards, which is pretty crazy. All right, next up, another Mint 9, the Shiftry EX from the World Champions pack. I submitted quite a few of these in this submission. So, first one comes back with the 9 grade. Not really sure why this one scored a 9. I thought most of them were, you know, about the same condition. They were all ordered from the same seller, so probably preserved pretty much the same, and any variation in grade is just probably due to small issues that the grader saw or just the PSA coin flip. Here's a card that I was a little disappointed in. Metagross from the Constructed Starter deck scored a Near Mint to Mint 8. I'm really not sure why. This card got an 8. I pulled it myself out of the constructed starter deck. Maybe right there in the top. I don't know if that's in the card or... No, that's in the case. That's an imperfection in the plastic. Yeah, I don't really know why this card scored a 8. Maybe there's an impression somewhere with the band that was holding this card. I can't see anything. I looked this over pretty closely, not really sure why this card scored an 8. But such is life with PSA. You don't win them all, even sometimes when you think you might, have a gem mint worthy card. We've gotten a lot of 9s and 8s back to back here. Again, this one is another one I was a little disappointed in. Shiny Collection 2013 Meloetta EX. Was hopeful that this would come back with the 10 grade, pretty clean on the back. Don't know if maybe there's a scratch or something that I missed. Yeah, you can see again there is just, it's on this one as well. That's just an imperfection in the plastic right there. That's not an issue on the card. So, but still, nevertheless, in a PSA 9, it's a beautiful card. Shiny Collection, incredibly hard to find these days. So very nice to get this in mint condition, even if I was hoping for a little bit of a higher grade. All right, coming back with the 10s here. Genesect from the movie commemorative Genesect set. Not really sure exactly where you would get this Genesect from. But it is very cool. I love the cracked ice holofoil pattern on this card. Gem mint, black and white promo, always something I will gladly welcome into my collection. So pretty happy with that. Continuing on, another 10 here. Celebi from Clash at the Summit. First edition. Really, really nice. This was a card that I just had kind of lying around for a while. Eventually decided that I should submit it. Again, these older Japanese holos in PSA 10 are becoming more valuable, especially with popular Pokemon like Celebi. So definitely was the time to get this card off and graded. Not exactly sure what I'll do with it. I don't collect a lot of the Legend era. So might just go sit in the vault, might sell it, who knows. All right, next up, wouldn't be a 4-star submission without a PSA 10 Japanese old EX card. Shiftry EX, another one of the few that I submitted from the World Champions Pack, first edition. This one scored the Gem Mint 10 grade. I'm always looking for these cards, even though I completed Japanese EX quite a while ago. I love this stuff. It is definitely my favorite era of cards. So whenever I find these cards, I always buy them, I always grade them, and I've been pretty lucky with them, pretty lucky finding some good copies. So really happy to find a Gem Mint 10 of the Shiftry. And I think we even have a few more copies sprinkled throughout the submission. Next up, really happy with this one, Entei from Bandit Ring. PSA 10, pulled this card myself way back in 2015, have just had it sitting around for a while. These Ancient Trait full art, kind of are like 3/4 art cards, especially the more popular ones. These have really climbed up in value recently. Definitely worth submitting, even if, you know, it's not, you don't want to make a ton of money or sell them, but get them protected. And they are just so beautiful. I mean, look at that amazing Mitsuhiro Arita art. These are kind of like the original special art rares, I think, because the artists had a lot more freedom on these than things like the full art cards, where they were kind of restricted. So it is nice to see the kind of beginning of the idea of just giving artists a lot of freedom on these cards. So awesome to see that. Entei, Gem Mint 10. Here's something that's a little disappointing, a Near Mint 7 on the EX Battle Boost promo Genesect. This, I know where you got this from. This was in like a promo pack. You got a couple packs of EX Battle Boost, and it came with this Genesect promo as well. Usually when you get a 7, that means there's some kind of small indentation somewhere, assuming there isn't a ton of edge wear. I have 7s that have a lot of edge wear, but no indentations. And I have 7s that maybe that corner, just a little bit. Not really sure. That might be it. But PSA 7 on this card, a little disappointing, but you know, that's just how the chips fall sometimes. Here is a great one. Cresselia EX Freeze Bolt Gem Mint 10. Black and white full arts are becoming harder and harder to find in gem mint condition. Thankfully, I have very few to go before I finish the set. So very happy to get this Cresselia in a Gem Mint 10. I do already have this in my collection, so this will be a great, perhaps trade fodder. But look at that texture, so incredible. These cards just feel so special when you see them in person. The gold outline, just really, really nice. Amazing stuff. All right, continuing on here with another Gem Mint 10 Shiftry EX from World Champions pack. Love to see it. We talked about this card before, so I won't spend too much time on it, but it is great to see another one come back with that beautiful 10 grade. Next up, we got a Butler's Curlia. This is from the Players Fan Club Lottery. This is a lottery promo. This kind of unassuming Curlia is in fact a lottery promo. This was part of the promotion for the Jirachi Wishmaker movie. And I think, I'm not exactly sure how you entered. I think it was some kind of Pokemon Center thing where if you buy a certain amount of packs or things, you're entered to win. I don't think anyone knows distribution numbers for this card. Based on just kind of feeling and seeing how many are out there, I would think it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 of these are out there. They're not super expensive, but they are pretty interesting to think of these, you know, kind of unassuming non-holo promo card. There's another one that I'll show later on. These unassuming non-holo promo cards as being lottery promos. And getting them in mint condition is really nice. I think this had just a very slight ding somewhere that I remember noticing. So a 9 is understandable on the Butler's Curlia. Next up, really happy about this one. Blue Shock Gengar PSA 10. I actually have 2 of them. So that is really nice. This is a holo card from XY8. Beautiful Sayasaruda art. Incredible stuff. And these Gengars are climbing up there in value. You know, I was just going through my binders and looking binders and card boxes and trying to pick out some cards that would be worthy of grading, and I saw the prices for these Gengars. I think when I sent them off, I saw them selling for like 200 bucks each in PSA 10, which is pretty nuts. Again, I pulled these myself in 2015 when Blue Shock first released. Probably got the opening videos up on the channel somewhere. Me back when I was probably a freshman in college, opening up Blue Shock in 2015. And yeah, this is a great card, very worth the price, and again, pretty hard to find. Again, we're coming up on what, 2015? That's 8 years ago now. So these XY era cards are getting much harder and harder to find, especially in mint condition. Another Gem Mint 10 Entei from Bandit Ring. I pulled a few of these and submitted all of them that I have. So that's really nice. Again, won't linger too much on this one. We also won't linger on another Mint 9 Shifter EX, so I think that's 4, 2 9s and 2 10s. Probably pretty standard for old Japanese from PSA from 2007. Next up, I am really happy about this card. This is the other card from the Metagross Constructed Starter deck, and probably my favorite card from that deck, the Jirachi Holo. Very, very nice. Awesome dual type card. Beautiful rear Ueda art there. Beautiful holographic. Really nice. And yeah, PSA 10. Definitely what you want to see on something when you open it yourself out of a deck. I think I might still have at least one sealed Metagross deck. Probably won't crack it, but nice to have the Jirachi in PSA 10. All right, next up, this is the second lottery card that you would get. This is the Farina's Absol. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Awesome Atsuko Nishida art there. And this one did get the Gem Mint 10 grade, so that is really nice. Another awesome lottery promo. Again, for the promotion of the Jirachi Wishmaker movie. So great to see that. I have no idea on pricing for those cards. Probably not too crazy. Most of the kind of rare lottery expensive stuff, they're a little bit more flashy than those cards, but those are, I think, Japanese exclusive artwork. Next up, Rocket Suicune got the PSA 8. I was a little disappointed in this. I was hoping for a 9. There is a little bit of wear here and there on this card, so a lower grade is understandable. VS is a beautiful, beautiful set. I love the Rocket Suicune artwork. The holo doesn't pop too much, but man, it's so nice. Eventually I'll acquire this card in a higher grade, I hope, but PSA 8 will definitely do for now. All right, last box. I believe this this submission was about 45 cards, I want to say. I still have a ton of cards that I need to grade with PSA, but the grading costs do add up over time. I've graded quite a bit over the past year, and I have a ton of cards that still need to go off. All right, next up, Gallade EX from Emerald Break, Mint 9. Not really sure why this card scored the Mint 9. Maybe centering is an issue. Maybe there was a little ding here and there that I missed. Maybe it's just the PSA coin flip, but I was hopeful that this would score the 10. I'm not formally collecting all the XY full arts, but I did just buy some here and there, and was kind of hoping that I'd be able to score 10s on them. Near Mint 8 on the Electabuzz from Galactic's Conquest. Again, not really sure why we're getting low grades on this. I thought this one was pretty nice. There is not a lot of flaking in the corners on this card, which is very common for these Platinum Era Secret Rares. So who knows, maybe there was a scratch or something on the back that I missed. But won't dwell on it too much. Getting back into some more modern cards, really happy about this one. The Sandaconda V from the Silverlance Booster Box promo. I think the promo was that if you bought 2 boxes, you got one of these, or maybe just 1 box. I think it was 2. But yeah, for 2021, this was really nice. The Jet Black Geist, you got the Celebi V, and the Silverlance, you got the Sandaconda. I graded the Celebis that I purchased a while ago, but I was trying to just get all the special arts that I had out the door. Special arts have been going up in price a lot, so I figured, you know what, just get them all graded. So, really happy with that. Speaking of special arts, here's another one that I'm really excited about. The Naganadel and Guzzlord GX from Alter Genesis PSA 10. Really amazing Ayakasube art there, just fantastic stuff. So really happy with that. Another special art, another Sandaconda V PSA 10. Lots of duplicates in this submission. Just getting them off, getting them graded, getting them back. That's what we like to see. Another duplicate here, another Entei. I think I submitted 3 Enteis, 3 10s. Again, that's what you want to see on cards you pull yourself and have stored pretty well. I'm kind of glad that when I was younger and opening these cards, I preserved them well in sleeves and boxes so that now that they're worth a little bit more, I can grade them. And that's just a word of caution for anyone opening stuff now. Just preserve all your cards. You never know what's going to happen down the line. Keep everything safe. Near Mint 8 on this Emolga. Again, not really sure why. Maybe a scratch or something I missed, but yeah. Looks pretty good to me, but PSA obviously spotted something that I did not. Same with the Mint 9 on this Tornadus. Yep, looks pretty clean to me, but who knows? If you're wondering, okay, well, what's the consistency on PSA grading? Are those 9s? Do they stay 9s? I actually did a PSA regrade submission a couple of months ago. I'll link it in the iCards if I remember, if you want to go check it out. It's probably one of the most recent videos on my channel. And I think my rate was somewhere in the neighborhood of, I want to say 20 to 25%. I submitted about 50 cards that were PSA 9 or lower, and about 20% of them got upgraded to 10. So to me, that tells me that PSA is fairly consistent, but obviously there is a bit of subjectivity. All right, PSA 7 here. Can we spot the dent or impression? Maybe just that little thing there. I don't think that's in the plastic. I think that's actually in the card. So I think PSA is right on this one to give this one a 7. But it's made up for by this Gem Mint 10. Awesome, unlimited Kabalion EX, and again, just look at that texture. Got a good light here that shows it off really well, but these Japanese full arts are just so amazing. Really, really nice. So 2 PSA 10s on black-white era full arts. Again, that's what we love to see. These cards are wonderful. Here's another Gengar, but the eagle-eyed observer will note that this is not from Blue Shock. This is in fact from the starter pack. You see it has the 20th symbol down there, a different card number. It is not first edition. Starter pack did not have first edition. The starter pack was a kind of reprint in 2016, so this is during the 20th anniversary celebration, around when CP6 was released. And this was a kind of pre-constructed starter deck thing. This was where you could get the full art Articuno and Zapdos in Japanese that I think went into our Generation set in English. But yeah, so you could get some holo cards in that set as well, in addition to EX cards. There was the Charizard, the Mega Charizard, the Mega Blastoise, and the Mega Venusaur that ended up going in Generations as well. Those in Japanese were in this starter pack. So you get those EXs, you'd get a holo card. So this Gengar was one of the holo cards that you could get from the starter pack. And this was again one that I opened myself and have had hanging around for quite a while. So very happy to see the Gem Mint 10 grade on that. Mint 9 on the Florges from Phantom Forces. Again, not really sure why this got the 9, probably just the PSA coin flip kind of thing. Or scratch or something small that I overlooked. And again, you know, sometimes when I go back and I look at these cards a lot more closely, when I'm thinking about, okay, should I regrade this or something, oftentimes I find kind of a little thing like that I missed that PSA saw. So normally I think that PSA does a pretty good job of grading cards. Mint 9 here on this Steelix, this was expected, but I just love this artwork. Really, really nice. And I think Mint E-Series cards, whether they're 9s, whether they're 10s, they should always be graded. Just beautiful stuff. All right, coming down the home stretch here, last couple of cards. Check this out. This is another amazing version of the Ancient Trait, kind of 3/4 art cards. Beautiful Tokia art here of Gyarados bursting out of the water. One of the best card artworks ever, I think, is the, in English, it's a pre-release promo. In Japanese, it is a Hiroshima Pokemon Center promo. The sort of alt art version of this card is just incredible. Whoops. My goodness, looks like they're taking out the garbage right by my window. So I apologize for the noise there. All right, just a few more cards left. Another awesome PSA 10, Mega Garchomp EX from the Kamex Mega Battle. I already have this in a PSA 10, but I love to get another. This is a pretty rare card that you do not see all that often. Again, a promo from a, I don't know exactly how you got this card with the Kamex Mega Battle. I don't know if it was participation or winning. I think it was probably just participation, but still pretty rare and pretty cool. All right, finishing off with some more black-white full arts, Cresselia EX, another Mint 9. I think some of these black-white full arts does kind of make sense why they got 9s. This was the last of the black-white full arts that I had. And I'd held back some of them because I wasn't super confident in them getting 10s. So it does kind of make sense that we do have a few 9s here. These do go together. White Kyurem from Cold Flare, Black Kyurem from Freeze Bolt, both got the PSA 9 grade. Would have hoped for a 10, but again, I think these were ones that just had a little bit of wear here and there on the back. Probably can't even pick it up on the camera. Maybe you can kind of see it just a little bit on that Black Kyurem along the bottom. Just very light stuff here and there. These are strong 9s in my opinion. Still beautiful, beautiful cards, but I am clearing out the last of the black and white full arts to be graded in my collection, at least at the time being. I amassed a ton of these over the pandemic era as I was trying to get as many as I could in anticipation of PSA reopening. And here we go, the last card in this submission, another Gem Mint 10 Cobalion EX. We love to see it. That's what we want to end things off on, a PSA 10 of a black-white full art card. So this is a pretty good submission here. If we're just doing the stack test, we got the 10 stack here. We got the 9s and below stack here. The 10 stack is bigger than the 9s and below stack, and that's what we like to see. So thank you all very much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stick around for more videos.